They say sell the outcome, sell the desired feeling. You're not selling the process. You're not selling the science. Nobody cares about the science. People honestly don't want to go through the process. They want to know the end result. Last night, there was this moment of pure peace and gratitude that overcame me, and I was just in pure bliss for my life, for all the steps of how I got there, everything I have, everything I don't have, everything that's gone wrong, everything that's gone right. It was a moment of pure bliss. And that feeling is the feeling that I desire to share with the world, to know, to share that it is possible for you to feel that feeling. It is possible for you to exist in that state of being. It is possible for you to reach that goal. The goal where your mind isn't running like a monkey brain, thinking 10 steps ahead for what mountain lion's going to eat you, when we live in a world of complete abundance. If you need food, you're going to find food. If you need shelter, usually enough people that you're going to be okay. And I don't know, I know enough people live in their cars on purpose, so I guess to me, I know people can live. It's fine. You're always going to be okay. There's been this underlying feeling throughout my whole life of everything's always working out for me and it's always going to be okay. And I use that mantra to help keep me safe and steady when it came to making choices. When I made choices, I did not make choices according to cookie cutter plans here on earth. I did not make choices of what people thought would be right or wrong or responsible. I made choices according to what my soul and God was telling me to go towards. And many times I knew that those were dark and wrong choices by standards of all those things I previously mentioned. And I took them anyways because I knew that they were part of the evolution. Even though they were the wrong steps, they were absolutely the right steps. And it's processes like that. It's trust and faith in God and the tools and the work like that that get you the results of faith, of gratitude, of a knowing that everything is working out for you. This channel is Awaken with Debb. My name is Deborah Kaye, and we are here to awaken to our awareness, to our core selves, backed by the faith of God, the faith of knowing that we have a plan, that God has a plan, we have a purpose. So if you're here for it, and if this sounds interesting or down your alley, make sure you like for the algorithms. Comment below if you're down for this, if you are ready to feel peace. I wasn't ready for a very long time, but I stayed the course. That's where subscribing is important. Make sure to subscribe so that you find the magical messages when they're ready for you. I don't expect people to watch every video all the time because I know that these videos are made 333 for the ones that they are made for. It doesn't need the quantity of views because it is backed by the quality of reaching those that it is meant to reach. Earth is changing, which means everything within her sphere is changing, and that means us. We are changing. And you have the choice to become a chosen one and choose to step into your higher power, to choose into the path that God is calling you for, to choose to align with your inner awareness that cannot exist within the matrix. It can exist alongside it. And that is kind of my desire and my goal, is to find new processes, new systems to work alongside it, to eventually split off from it. Because the matrix, the way that the world has worked, has been a revolving Ponzi scheme. It's been sustaining itself upon the energy of humans that are not aware of their power and their purpose. And as more of us become aware of our power and our purpose, our abilities to create, our abilities to exist within our sovereignty, am I saying that right? Sovereignty. So we're sovereign humans. We have the ability to choose how and where to invest our energy. That's what this channel is for. It's the motivation to help inspire you to awaken to your awareness. The awareness is what starts it all. That's today's homework. Be aware. Find an awareness within a choice that either you have made before or maybe something coming up where the world would say choose this, but your soul and your spirit is saying, I think I should choose this though, and I don't really know why, and even in my common sense and my experience, I really shouldn't choose this, but just for some reason I'm going to choose that. And whether that some reason is trauma related, it could be a pattern, it could be needing to see a certain character or energy that is similar to that of your childhood or some other traumatic situation. Or it could be the most beautiful God-given sent angel that's going to completely make all your suffering disappear all of a sudden. I mean, it could go both ways. But the thing is, even if it is a scary choice, even if you do see that, how do I put this? Some of my choices, I was like, you know what? This is reminiscent of a trauma from a childhood that I don't understand because I was a child when it happened. So maybe as an adult, if I can place myself near this type of energy, then as an adult, I can see that energy and process it to be able to relate it back to my childhood, to reframe how the childhood worked so that I can heal my inner child and move on. So even when a step feels wrong, it can absolutely be right for your soul's evolution. Did you follow that? Sometimes the right choice is the wrong choice, and sometimes the wrong choice is the right choice. How do you know? We awaken to our inner awareness, and we do what feels easy. We do what feels calming, not confusing. But we have been conditioned certain ways, so sometimes choosing the calm can feel confusing. And then here we are back in the paradox. It's just a matter of practice. It's just practice. It's like when you meet a stranger, they are very much so a stranger in that you know nothing about them. Your brain has not absorbed anything about them. Then, once someone is no longer a stranger, you can usually spot your friend from like a block away. You're like, oh, I see the way their shoulder is just tilted a little bit, and like the way they're like lumpy, or or you hear their voice, or you can tell their facial expressions when something aside from normal stuff. But it's you become familiar with who they are as a person, what their energy is like, what their body expressions are like, what they're like when they're upset, what they're like when they're happy. And we forget that we have to do that with ourselves too. We have to get to know ourselves. And that's how we learn to understand our own energy signatures of when we feel aligned versus when we feel the ick. Because that's going to be our ultimate inner guidance. That's going to be our inner compass. And sometimes we're so traumatized that choosing the better path feels icky. We can't negate that that's a truth for a very large amount of people. I see it and I talk to them, and sometimes there's a lot of really big walls there. And sometimes those, you just can't reach those people yet, but we can plant the seeds. We can plant the seeds. So if you found this video, it was probably most definitely meant for you, because that's how these energies work. Our consciousness and technology is not separate. And we are using, you know how you see in horror movies or just any movie, how entities or spirits or ghosts will use technology to speak to people, or even in Transformers, Bumblebee used the radio to try to communicate through different lines of songs. Technology is very much like that these days. It is a reflection. It can be a source of information. It can also be a trap. Be mindful of the loops and patterns, because you are worth creating your own loops and patterns that are going to level you up to the highest you possible, which is just feeling that peace and gratitude, where the monkey mind silences, the anxiety stops, and the depression, it's not even a phantom of the mind anymore. It's a heaven on earth. And that's the life that I desire to have rub off on others. It's a life that I have created for myself. And I have tools and tricks of how I got here. If you're interested, you can probably get there too, if you want to. But you have to want to. You have to want it. But you have to know you already have it. You have to understand paradoxes for this journey. 1, 1, 11, 11. Okay, wrapping it up there. This is Awaken with Debb, awakening to our true selves, aligning to the faith of God. I'm here for it if you're here for it. My name's Deborah Kaye. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, have a blessed day.